So I took a look at who actually animated this anime, Sonny Boy. And to my surprise, it was Studio Madhouse that is working on this. And just to make sure we're all on the same page here, Madhouse hasn't made a new anime in a very, very long time. And to make things even more interesting, Sonny Boy is an anime original. What this basically means is that it has no manga to follow, no light novel to follow. It is completely in-house original story, which means that the writers, the director, etc., they are given free reign to do whatever they want with the story, and that this could potentially be a passion project for, this series to have many seasons ahead of it. For instance, if it's very successful, it can have like a season 2, a season 3, etc., get the point. And so, that is what really fascinates me. The first anime in a very long time from Studio Madhouse is an anime original, and I feel like just judging by what I witnessed from the first episode, it feels like maybe this could potentially be a return to former glory of Studio Madhouse. Hopefully, they don't go down that same track record that MAPPA is currently going down right now. But getting into the main subject at hand, if you have yet to actually watch the first episode of Sonny Boy, I highly recommend it. It's been a fantastic watch. Like, I really enjoyed what I witnessed. I don't know fully what I watched, but I really did enjoy what I watched. Now, apparently, the episode has been kind of floating around for a few weeks now as a pre-airing, so many of you might have already have seen this first episode, like, weeks ago, but less than a day ago, the episode officially aired, and you were able to fully officially get your hands on it and watch it, and I waited until then to, finally watch it, and here I am now doing a first impressions of it. Now, Sonny Boy, so far, in art style-wise, it really does stand out. It reminds me so much of the early days of Studio MAPPA or the early days of Studio Madhouse before they went off the rails with their constant production issues with, let's say, Overlord and other anime that they worked on around that time. And when you look at just the line work, when you look at just the backgrounds, everything about it just stands out. Like, especially this opening shot. Like, the beginning of the episode, and you see the hallway scene. You see how distorted the background is. You see how the entire hallway just looks very weird. It's not properly symmetrical, which this really catches your eye when you're actually starting the episode. You're like, whoa, the art style is very different. And when you see a funky looking art style like this, it reminds me of like very interesting shows I've watched over the years, like maybe Ping Pong the Animation. If you've ever watched that, I know many might be quick to judge it because it may look bad, but in reality, it is a beautiful show if you've actually watched it. And that's kind of what I'm reminded of when I look at Sonny Boy. I'm reminded of that, like that art style, that type of line work to a certain degree, and I appreciate that. It definitely drew me in because of just the way it was so mesmerizing. But what is it about, though? I know many are probably wondering, so what is Sonny Boy about, and is it something for me? Well, like I said, I don't fully understand everything going on with the show because, it is an anime original, so I have really nothing to go on, and not many others have anything to really go on as well. The only people that really know where the show's going to go is actually the director, the animators, the writers, etc. So it's still left in the air what direction the story really wants to establish it as. Like if it really wants to be, let's say, a isekai, like transfer to another world, or if it wants to be a superpower hero series, or if it just wants to be a simple slice of life story. It really is yet to fully establish itself and what it really wants to be. But it's clear as day that is not just a typical down-to-earth slice of life, because you see weird, funky, supernatural powers thrown into it. For instance, you see our characters gifted with abilities that are just outright bizarre. Stuff that you don't really fully understand how they work. Example, you see a character that's able to look like he shatters reality itself. You see cracks of the whole screen just cracking like he's shattering reality, and it makes you wonder if he could actually do that to the people around him, or could he only do it to the objects, for instance, windows, doors, walls, etc. And then you see other characters that potentially might be able to physically manifest, let's say, like a merry-go-round or other things, or distort the entirety of the school in different ways, or even give out punishments if they say penalty. So there's some very unique powers that isn't relying on the traditional, oh, I can use fire, oh, I can use ice, oh, I'm super fast. There is some very unique abilities that have been already introduced with the first episode, which is just outright amazing. I am so happy to see just the originality of the characters' powers, which that leads into the main subject. So the setting of the story is set in a school, but it's not just any type of school. The school is apparently in a void, which this instantly caught my attention. For instance, when you look outside the windows, when you just see the environment outside the building, it's a void. It's nothing. It's darkness. They're like in purgatory or limbo, whatever term you want to throw onto the characters. They look like they're in some form of limbo. And maybe that is where the series wants to go. Maybe all the characters are actually dead and they are in limbo, or they are in purgatory, whatever. But the point is that they're in a void, and they don't know why. Just there was a storm that happened, and then the whole school transferred with everyone inside of it, and there they are. A week passes, and towards the end of episode 2, you see to where they're transported to a whole other section, which is in the middle of an ocean with an island a little bit further in. And that's fascinating because it lets us know that the setting can actually change, but it doesn't seem like they're actually still where they're supposed to be. Most likely in a completely different alternate dimension. So it seems like there is dimension-like travel going on in the series, and one of the characters most likely has this ability. If I had to assume who actually has this ability, I would assume it's our main male character, because judging by what he says or how he acts within this episode, he seems like he doesn't care about anything around him. He seems like he's someone that is just being lazy. He doesn't really have much to do, but he even says multiple times he actually does not have a superpower, but judging by what we've seen so far, most likely he does. And when he kind of, became determined to actually want to be a dandelion, which basically means travel, the whole school transferred to a whole different place. So I feel like he has the potential or ability to transfer to different dimensions. It's either him or it's actually the girl that was hanging out with him. One or the other has that ability, but I do like the direction. So, Sonny Boy, so far, first episode, it's good. It is definitely a good show, and I could really feel a lot of love and time and effort put into this first episode. It's clear as day that Studio Madhouse definitely want to use this series to reestablish themselves once again, to let the, everyone know, like, hey, we're still a studio, hey, we're still around, hey, we still make anime, and I do like what I've seen so far. I hope this continues. I hope we get to see some quality work. Hopefully there's some good passion thrown in. And yeah, that's basically all I'll ask for. So far, it's got everything right. It's got so much mystery and intrigue that I want to know what's going to happen, and it's sad I can't go out of my way and figure out what's going to happen, like read a manga or something, but I guess that's the joy of these type of shows, because the community comes together, and we can't spoil each other. We can't really, spoil. It's only theory crafting, and I appreciate stuff like that, too. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below, how you felt about the first episode. Are you going to be watching said first episode of Sonny Boy? And how do you feel about Madhouse's first anime in a very long time? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. But with that, be safe. Chibi out.